Hey YouTube, welcome back to X Figure Reviews. In front of me is the Mezco 112 Logan figure. Pretty cool stuff is going on here. I never had a Mezco figure before this one. This is my intro to, this whole realm here for me. Really cool jumping point. So if you never known about Mezco, you don't know what they do. They're 112, so that means they're like 6-7 inch figures. They scale in somewhat with Marvel Legends. They deal with cloth instead of just plastic for clothing, so it's really cool. So something like Logan in street clothes is like their bread and butter. So that's what made me pull the trigger. It's also $80. So that's a lot of money. Let's take a look at what he comes with to kind of justify this price point. He has 3 different heads. We have this one here. You can see the fantastic detail, the line work on the face, like in the sculpt, also in the hair. It looks great. Okay, and the expression's really nice too. It's like, I'm angry again. That's kind of what I get from it. Almost like this, yeah, here we go again. It's another fight, it's another brawl, let's go. I might have preferred a more angrier face, but I still like that one. Now this is like a Red Dead Wolverine, if you will. Obviously he's kind of a cowboy, right? He's got a nice 5 o'clock shadow, just like the other figure or the other head, but you can see there's a blemish on mine, so that sucks. But look at the detail on this hat. It matches the detail you see on the face, like the textures there, even in the band. Okay, so you can see a lot of love went into this sculpt, and it's fantastic. It really pays off. That's probably my favorite head sculpt. Now, he doesn't just come with heads, he also comes with a few different hands. He comes with some claws, of course, because he's Wolverine, right? Now, Mezco does a fantastic job with the claws, maybe the best that I've ever seen. They are, metallic. They are stiff, so they're not going to flex out of position or anything like the Legends figures. They do seem a little brittle, like they're one shelf dive away from just breaking, and that scares me a little, I won't lie. But it hasn't happened yet, so I can't really count that as a negative, right? He does have a couple other hands. He has one open hand that goes on his right wrist. There's no pair for this, no matching set. It's just that one hand. Then he has another open hand. This is like somewhat open. You can see it's for like gripping something. He doesn't come with anything to grip, but you customizers out there, you can probably give him like a beer can or, a can of whoop ass. Whatever. It's Wolverine. He also comes with a pair of fists. They're on his body right now. We'll look at those a little later on. He does have this jacket. If you have some Marvel Legends figures or some older Toy Biz figures, you may have seen this fabric before. It's I don't know how if it'll last. I know some of my older jackets, they're kind of getting ripped up from use, but it looks really good. It really completes the look between the hat, the boots, and all that. And the zipper does work. Isn't that cool? Now it is cool, but it is kind of a cheap zipper. Mine's gotten stuck a couple times, and most people aren't going to have it zipped up anyway. So I almost wish it would have just sculpted a zipper on. It would have scaled a little better, maybe looked a little nicer, but I digress. It's a cool feature, right? This is probably my favorite accessory, though. We have a dog tag. This is made out of metal, just like any other dog chain, really. And we have, the name, James Hallett. We have type A, his blood type, and then we have 181/11/1974. And of course, that is Wolverine's first full appearance in Hulk 181 in November the year of 1974. So really cool stuff. If you look it up on YouTube or Google, whatever, you might be confused because October his first appearance, but this is just a debut. It doesn't really matter. It's not his first full appearance. So yeah, don't get lost in that. Mezco also gives bases and stands with their figures. Really cool stuff. Now you have 2 options for it. You have the arm and a peg. I'll show you where, but this is just the bottom of the base to show you what it looks like. You see I'm kind of scratching at it here. It's pretty, it's not like a sticker that will peel off or anything. It looks really nice. And as far as when I mentioned with between the peg or the arm, he comes with this little peg that goes into the base, and there's a hole in the boot of Logan. So you can just use that like a normal stand, or you can pop that out and you can use the arm here, and you can see at all the joints they have screws. Really durable arm here, okay? Really durable. You can do a lot with it. Now, and also worth mentioning, it's not a special tool you use. It's just like I think it's a Phillips head. It's just a screwdriver, okay? So really cool stuff. Now, the only thing is it's really tall. So you can see if I put Logan on here, it's not really I can't really make it work. But just to kind of show its durability, here it is, hyper extended. And, I'm going to tap it. It's going to wiggle. It's fine. So it's really strong. If you really want to show him jumping or doing some kind of cool aerial pose, you got it. But just standing, Better off using the peg or no base at all because you don't need it. He can stand without it, which is awesome. Here's the other head sculpt he comes with. It's the like the patch look. This, from what I can see online, this is most people's favorite head sculpt. Only they're upset that it has the patch, but I mean, they can get over it. I like the patch look. Really nice detail there, and you can see he does have chest hair, so that's a nice touch. And you have the tank top. I really like the material choice for that. I love the belt, and the belt buckle looks nice. It's not attached to the pants, as you can see. It's attached like in the back above the butt, but not on the crotch. This crotch piece, like the zipper, it's flat. It's not, there's not really anything there. There's no pockets. That bothers me. It's like they're girl jeans or something. I pity girls because they don't have pockets, man. And neither does this Logan figure. Now, you can see the nice stitch work too, around the seams and things of the pants. And the boot, look at the detail on these boots. It's so fantastic. Here's the hole on the bottom of the boot. All right, and just look at that nice work, man. It's so cool. He does have some butt pockets. And on every Logan figure that I've seen, I've never seen them like being perfect. They're always kind of lopsided. So don't, expect that. Just expect them to be a little lopsided. The hair on the arm is sculpted and painted. It's sculpted more than painted, I'll say that. And also it's in that like streak how it goes down his arm. It's not like covering the full thing. Like look at his back. You can kind of see the proportions seem a little off. The back and the chest look very hairy. His arms look a little less hairy. So I don't know if I agree with that, but I digress. All in all, textural wise, he's really interesting to touch, all the different textures going on. My one thing is the pants seem a little too cottony for me, like they're a little too soft. I would have preferred like a more denim, a little harder, coarser material. And as far as articulation goes, he can look up and down this much. He does have the neck and head articulation, so he's able to get that. So of course he can like rotate at the head as well. As far as arm articulation goes, he can go up this much, which is really nice. And then he can go down like, at like a neutral pose, pretty decently, especially considering he's a little buff. He's short and wide. He does have the bicep swivel, and he's got 2 joints in the elbow. You see you get nice like beyond 90 degrees there. He does have the wrist articulation on a ball joint, and it's worth mentioning that he does have a butterfly joint in there. It's hard to use. Like I'm doing it right now and you can hardly tell. It's really tight and it's really small, but it helps doing some poses. The jacket does kind of get in the way of some of the articulation, but learn how to finagle it. You can see the diaphragm joint and the hip joint rotates. You're never going to go all the way around because of the cloth tank top, but it's still human. Humans can't really go all the way around anyway. As far as going backward and forward, you can see the motion he's got there with that. Kicking up, he can go up this much. He can kick to the back, not really at all because he's got an adamantium butt. And then he can go out to the side this much. So this is actually a pleasant surprise for me. He can go out really far, and I can get both legs. He's a ninja cowboy. Can you believe that? And what's awesome is the pants don't feel like stressed or stretched out. It seems comfortable. I'm not worried about ripping the fabric doing that. He does have a thigh swivel. You're not really going to use that unless you're finessing a pose. He's got the double jointed knees, which, nice mobility there, even with the jeans on. His ankle articulation is a little off, okay? It's like it's there or it's like it wants to be there. It's like the ghost of articulation, I'll have to zoom in and show you. First off, like look at the nice detail on the boot. It does go up into the pants. I didn't really go over that before, but I wonder if this nice sculpt is some of the reason the articulation is off, okay? It goes out more than it goes in. You can kind of see like here it is out. And then inward, it doesn't really go in too much. And as far as like pointing the toe, it's basically non-existent. So, up and down, not a lot. And side to side, well, inside, not really. And outside it goes. It's very odd. So that could be improved for me. But that's really it as far as articulation. I would have liked to see maybe some more butterfly joint in there. And just better ankle articulation. But all in all, it's really nice. And I did forget, Mezco does give this little nice resealable bag. How thoughtful. It has the white label here so you can write whose parts are what, inside the bag. You can keep your stuff organized for those people who don't keep the boxes. Because the Mezco boxes are a little bit bigger. Some collectors complain about them. I like them myself, but it's really nice that Mezco gives those bags. You might even be able to squeeze the base into those. So really cool stuff. Here he is next to another Mezco figure, the Mezco Wolverine. And you can see that the Logan figure is a tad taller, but not by much, really. And just to compare him to some other figure lines, we have the Marvel Legends, of course, pretty much the staple of any Marvel collector nowadays. And you can see this is like his exact counterpart. I even got the patch heads and everything. They're adorable together, but you can see just how different they are. Wow. And the Marvel Legends is shorter, okay? He just is. And even like with the tips of his hair, he's still shorter, okay? So, you know, it might not fit in too well if you're trying to like interchange these figures. I'll say that. Now let me give you an even better comparison. Here he is next to like a costumed Wolverine. This is his first appearance figure that just came out with the anniversary series. So if I put them side by side, you can really see the difference. He's the shorter of the three figures, and next to the Mezco Logan's almost like a whole head ahead of this Wolverine figure. So he's much taller. So, and also just to give you another size comparison, here's Cyclops in the Marvel Legends series, because maybe you're going to pose Wolverine, obviously not with other Wolverines, but with other X-Men. So, here it is. You can see Cyclops is a little taller. So, sure, it's passable if you really want to go that route. Honestly, though, if you're looking for a Wolverine or a Logan for a Marvel Legends, then get the Marvel Legends Wolverine or Logan. This guy, because he's a solid figure. He comes with a bike even. It's really cool stuff, and that's pretty much the figure, okay? A lot of cool things are happening, like I said. Not a whole lot of gripes. My gripes are almost little. Like, the jeans seem a little off to me, just the fact that there's no pockets in the front. The material seems a little soft, and the buckle doesn't attach at the front. The ankle articulation's a little weird, and I do have that weird, blemish on the chin on my cowboy head. But other than that, I mean, this figure's fantastic. Once you get him out of the package, you can immediately feel like this was a justified purchase. I understand why this is $80. The joints are really nice and tight. Whenever you think of that cliche like American made, like that's what this guy is, even though he's Canadian. Isn't that funny? But just keep that in mind. Like, you have your Legends figures, they feel rubbery, they feel like toys. This is not a toy. That's really what it feels like. It really feels like it's a collector's piece. It's really nice. The claws do feel a little brittle, like I said, but if you're taking care of him, if you use that base that they give him, he should stand perfectly fine. He shouldn't have any shelf dives to even worry about anything like breaking the claws off due to one of those. So all in all, absolutely highly recommend this figure. Pick him up, okay? And that's the review. Thanks for checking it out. Like, subscribe, follow my Instagram. All right, thanks guys.